Today we're gonna code lots with Mr. Kim, Phil Potts, and oh, how amazing you'll be.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Welcome back. Hi, Lewis. How you doing? Who else have we got on here? Nasro. Welcome. Just trying to get my simulators worked out at the moment. My visor has stopped connecting for some reason. So what's everyone up to? Did you have a fun time at Build? What is this fancy? Oh, this fancy second screen in the bottom of the screen? Are we talking about the one that's... let me have a look here. This one. Oh, that's actually just my desktop. So when I switch across to my desktop, it's basically this one here. All right. We didn't really up the production quality or the budget. We just edited an OBS source and threw it in there. Beautiful. I did up the budget though, slightly. And I found a thing from my childhood, which is awesome. Hang on, I'm going to show you. Did anyone have one of these when they were a kid? This is like the first arcade machine ever, right? So I can play... Oh, I suck at it. A little LED thing. Super cool. I love this machine. So I had that when I was like a little boy. My parents bought it around the other day. It does look like a Star Trek tool. You're right. All right. So it's been a hectic. It's been a bit of a hectic time. So we've had Build on. So lots of great announcements in Build. I've been doing lots of work for that. But now you would like to see some more Xamarin content in Build? Yeah. There was the live stream, which had a fair amount of Xamarin content in it. So there was like David Ortnow and Shane. There was Luce and Gerald. There was myself. There was James Montemagno. So that was actually pretty cool. That was on the Microsoft developer stream. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, there were some big announcements at Build. So the biggest probably being the Maui stuff, which I'm very keen to have a look at. I don't know if anyone's looked at that, but it certainly seems pretty cool. All right. Let's sort of go and have a look at what we're working on. So what I wanted to do today was just finish off something, which is something I struggle with often. But what we've been working on is we've been working on this. I've got this running in an emulator because, like I said, my visor, let me just try visor one more time. See if it's going to play. It's just displaying a black screen for me. Oh, look at that. It's so sad, that visor. Yeah, I suspect I'm going to have to do a reboot to fix that one. All right, but what we've been working on is we've been working on a nice little design for pizzas, because everyone loves pizzas. And basically what this allows us to do is we can view a pizza here with its name and its details. We can say add to cart, and then we can choose our size of our pizza. All very cool. We can update the quantity of our pizza as well. And it does this nice little animation where it basically takes the pizza from up here and chomps it into a little button here. Nom nom nom. Which is pretty cool. So it works pretty well. And I should show you where this design comes from as well, because let me just bring that up here. So it's from Dribble. And it's this one here by Bijat Kumar Bira. So a nice little pizza UI. Okay, so we're sort of replicating this one. I think in a lot of ways we're pretty close. Let's have a little look on Android here. Okay, let's take it back to its initial state. Okay, so we sort of start out here. Okay, and we hit our add to cart button, and then we can go and adjust our sizes up. Okay, and we can go and increment our quantity, and it goes and eats it. So there's a few things that I need to fix with this. One of those things is there's a couple of details that are basically in here that we don't have. So we don't have a little back arrow up here. We don't have this star up here. There's also a couple of bugs. Here's a bug that I found. If I go and add something in here, that's all really cool. But if I add multiple in here, you watch this, if I do it really quick, it eventually goes and eats up my button. And that's just because I'm basically taking the size of this button and then doing a translation on it. But if I'm already halfway through doing it, then it basically works it out from its other point. So we should fix that one first of all. In fact, what I might do is I might grab myself a little notepad here, and let's work out the things that we need to fix on this. Okay, things to do for pizza. All right. So what have we got? We've got to fix that. The green one, the basil leaf. Good call. Basil leaf on the side. Nice. Fix the button at the bottom. No, fix the button. Fix the chomp button. What else we got to do? We've got to add a back button. We've got to add star ratings. Okay, which is pretty cool. Add the basil leaf on the side. Beautiful. All right, so that gives us a few things to work on for this. We've already got, just for those that are interested in seeing what we've had in here so far. Couple of interesting things in here. The way that we're doing this transition here, between our various states, and I can sort of take it through the states by clicking on the pizza as well. In fact, that's something that I need to do. Okay, cool. So what have we got? The way this sort of works and does its animation, we have this little animation state machine. And inside of our code, what we're doing is we're saying, we set up all these states, right? So we've got 5 states, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got an entrance state or start state, entrance state, small, medium, and large. Okay, so that's small. That's not right. Okay, so we have to fix that. So we'll just do a bit of cleaning up, really. All right, so we've got this these animation states, and basically what we do is we sort of set up these transitions for each of the different states, and we say, hey, look, when I'm in the state of start, this is where I want all your things to be. When I'm in a state of entrance, here's where I want everything to be, and that's in terms of like opacity and translation and things like that. And then we've got the small, the medium, and large. Now, it's a little bit verbose, so there's a lot of text going on in there. What I would really like to do is I'd really like to find a nicer way of doing this. I'm not sure if I'll get around to that today, but that's one of my objectives, definitely. Alrighty. But the cool thing about having that is once we want to change states, all we have to do, let's have a look, is here. We just navigate to the next state. We just say, you know what? Go to the, if I'm at small, go to medium. If I'm at medium, go to large. If I'm at large, go to small. Okay. And that, because those states are set up in the state engine, okay, it just handles the translation between them, which is very nice. Beautiful. $181. The other cool thing that we've got going in here is we've also got this this button here, which does a little rotation here. That's kind of nice. Little. I think Lachlan called it a Ferris label because it's like a Ferris wheel. It's like a carousel view that's vertical. So that's kind of nice. All right. So let's fix up some things, shall we? Let's start there. Let us start with, at the top of the list here, fix this chomp button, right? So the problem with the chomp button is that if I keep on sort of smashing this button, it slowly eats away that. Now, the question is, what should it really do, right? So should it, if I sort of smash this really fast, I'm thinking what it should be doing is it should be updating this label here, but it should wait for the chomp animation, right? So probably the easiest way to do that is actually just put a little gate in there and just sort of basically say something like, we've got this method up here, which is our flying pizza. And we should basically say, look, let's only fly the pizza if the pizza isn't already flying. Check if the pizza is already flying. Which version of Xamarin.Forms am I using? That's a good question. Let's have a look. It's probably not quite up to date. Why do you ask? Oh, we've got some updates. So I'm running 4.6.726. There is an update to it. I'm not sure what's in that update, but it's a patch. So probably nothing too important. We also have Skier Sharp in here. So what Skier Sharp is doing for us is if I find my emulator again, okay, and we'll go to our pizza. Skier Sharp we're using to draw this little line here, okay, this little ruler, because there's nothing really in Xamarin.Forms that'll do it. So just a little bit of Skier Sharp inside of there. All right, back to our page here. You were trying to make something using this resource? Having trouble? So let's just have a look at this. Checking the pizza's already flying, right? So the way this sort of works is we've got our screen, we've got a pizza here, but we actually also have two pizzas. We've got a hidden flying pizza, right? And so when the person clicks on the button here, it basically makes this one visible and then flies it down to here. So kind of what we could do is just a fairly cheeky way of doing it. We would just say, you know, if it's already visible, it means it's already flying, right? Then let's just not fly the pizza, right? So let's just see if that works. So if our flying pizza is visible, then let's just return out of here. Be interested to see if that fixes the problem. Coffee. Where are you? Where'd you go? Here we go. We've got an emulator up here. Beautiful. All right, cool. All right, so that's probably what we want to happen, right? I'm clicking that pretty fast. I'm accruing a lot of pizza points here. But basically, you know, it's probably what we want to happen, right? I would argue. I mean, if anyone's doing that in the UI, they're probably a tester. Or they're just trying to smash the button as hard as they can. $1,000 worth of pizza. That's a lot of pizza. Just make sure it's going to work here. Yeah. All right. And let's just take it back down. Beautiful. All right, so that's probably fixed our problem there, I think. Except for the bit where we go negative. Maybe we should fix that as well. Okay, I think we're done on that one, right? Don't allow pizza to go negative. All right. Now, what I might do is I might have a look at these ones next, I think. Let's have a look at these. Okay. So add a back button. So in the original design, which is here, okay, it has a back button up here, which is basically when the user is in here, that would presumably take them back to the main pizza page. This page here. Okay. Now it's actually all done on the same page. So we'll just change state based on that, I think. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. All right. So, so we need to create ourselves a back button because like so many designs, this one is basically not using the back button as it would normally be used. So I'm going to create myself a little back button. And I'm just going to do this here in Adobe XD. Oops. Let's grab a path tool. There we are. That'll probably be a little bit easier. And we'll basically say go from here to here to here. Beautiful. And then we'll make that a nice sort of whitish color. We'll give it a bit extra width. Well, let's not do that. Maybe what we should also do as well is give it some little rounded edge pieces. That looks nicer. All right, let's call this our back button. And I'm going to just throw this over here for the moment. Okay, and let's go and export that resource. All right. GitHub. So let's do Android first. Again, this is one of those cool things in Android where you can just sort of basically say, yeah, let's go and output it here. Splat it in there. Beautiful. Does all the sizes for us. I'm looking forward to when Xamarin.Forms will automatically resize images for us. That'll be super cool. But until then, I'm just going to basically output some of those. Beautiful. All right, let's come back to our solution here, and we should be able to, all things going well, find those resources. Here we go, back buttons. Include those in the project. Oh, I'm still running. Don't want to do that. And we should have some iOS ones here as well. If we're lucky, we do. Cool. So let's give that a little run and let's put a back button in. So I just need to remind myself how we did this page. What do we have? We've got a main page here. Lots of styles sitting in there. We've got a grid. We've got an absolute layout. Which is actually going over the entire screen, I believe. It is. All right. So what we could do, I think it would be reasonable for us. Let's wait for this to spin up. Meanwhile, I'm going to have a little snack. Nom nom. All right, all this pizza making me hungry. So where do we want this? Let's go ahead. Let's try putting it in here first of all. Okay, so we want it to be back button. We want it to be up at the top. We want it to be to the left, so we'll give those some properties there. Let's see if we get a back button there somewhere. All right, there's our back button. Just want to move this down a little bit. Let's just give it a margin. So if I say I give it a margin of 10. Let's try that. That's probably right. Now we're going to have to adjust where this goes to. If we look at the design, okay, it's pretty tight up in that corner. Let's put it up there somewhere. And we'll move this Pete's Margarita down. I think we're going to run out of a little bit of space here, actually. All right, I think it's fine where it is. So theoretically, if we now give that, let's give it a gesture recognizer. Okay, we'll give it a tap gesture recognizer, and we'll say, you know what, when you go and tap on this, actually, we'll give this a name before we do this. Because the nice thing about giving something a name, let's see if this works. So name equals, let's call this back button. Is I think when we do our gesture recognizer, it'll name it nicely. Will you? No, you won't. Okay. Well, let's change that. Let's say back button tapped. Not liking doing this while I'm running, so that's cool. Oh, and also the fact that I haven't closed the tag. Just going to have thrown this down the bottom. All right. And theoretically, all we should have to do now is just use our animation controller and say, you know what, let's go back to a state of entrance. And I think that should do it for us. Let's find out. All right, add to cart. Oh, that's interesting. Are we getting any clicks at all? All right, so if we're not getting clicks here, the thing to do would be to have a look at what's sitting above it. So there's a really, really good chance. Let's just give this a background color. Look at this bug in Visual Studio where it, let's just say, give it a yellow background, just so we can see where it is. Yeah, it's up there, but we're not registering any clicks on it. All right. So my guess is there's something in front of it, possibly this label, that's actually intercepting the taps. So a couple of options we could do. We could either move that right to the front of the Z order by moving it within this grid. So that would be one option. Let's see if that works. Dum, 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 dum. All right, so now it's sitting there. Yeah, that was the problem. Or we could find out which control is actually in front of it, and we could put an input transparent equal to true. For our case, though, I think what we'll do, because we're going to have to hide this button anyway, right? So when we're in this state, we want our background button to be not visible. So let's do that. Sorry, I'm just chomping on something here. So let's come back to our page here. Let's get rid of that yellow background. We don't want that. This is called back button. Whoops. So we'll come back to our animation controller here and we'll say, you know what? When I'm in a state, for my back button, when I'm in a state of start, I don't want a back button. Don't need a back button. When I'm in entrance, I don't need a back button. When I'm in any of the other states, hey, JKM Live, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. We're just goofing off with some Xamarin.Forms here. So welcome to the channel. I am doing well. The kids are back at school. Oops, I think I broke something there. What did I break? The kids are back at school this week, or at least a couple of my kids are back at school. And that's been kind of nice. I won't lie to you. What's going on here? Oh, I think I've just like copy, paste, fail. All right, so in my medium, I want it to appear, and in my large, I want it to appear as well. Where'd it go? Oh my goodness. Copy paste is the worst. I wonder if we've got a shame button for that. Yeah, JKM Live. Or GKM. I don't know how the teachers do it. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Look, I'm going to assume that kids behave better for their teachers than they do for us. That's the only thing that I can assume. Okay. So we got no back button. We come into here. We now got a back button. It's slightly in the wrong spot, but you know, whatever. There we are. Come back out. It disappears. Beautiful. So State Engine has done its thing. All right. Now, we've got our back button. It's doing its job. That's another thing off the list. Add a back button. Done. Okay, now we need to add our star ratings. So let's have a look at this. This is going to be fun because, as with a lot of designs, they're sort of designed for bigger, longer iPhones, and I'm running on this on a shorter Android device, right? So somewhere I've got to find some space, because if you have a look here, I think maybe what I need to do is just chicken wing riding through the glen with his band of merry men. Nice. Is that a new jingle? All right, that needs to come down. Let's bring that down. Maybe it's not too bad. Let's have a look. If we see, the problem is when we get to that size. But you probably don't need the star ratings when you're at that size. Let's just give it a crack, eh? Let's move that pizza margarita down a little bit. Let's have a. Sorry, I'm eating again. It's terrible. So what we're doing is we're saying, okay, pizza title. When it's here, has a translation for the header translation, which is calculated up here, right? Which is why when we're back on this screen, it's down at this. What did you miss? Well, we got a back button working. We stopped this from misbehaving when I smashed the pizza button. So we've done a few things. All right. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm just going to adjust the translation of this. So let's have a look at where that's positioned. Progress. It's progress. It's, it's not amazing, but it's progress. Pizza ruler, pizza thumb, pizza title. It's got a margin of 20. What would happen if we said it's got a top margin of 30? What would you do then? What would you say about that? And let's just use random numbers as you do. There we are. That's better, right? Beautiful. Me likey. All right. Next mission. Next mission is to add in this star ratings beneath it. And let's have a look at what that does. My understanding is that would fade out. So it doesn't exist here. And it sort of fades in. So it actually has to be a separate control, I think. All right. And we would probably go ahead and we would use something like the new font embedding. So let's see. Did I use the font embedding here? I think I did. Okay, beautiful. So this is a nice little feature. If you haven't played with this before, not having to put the fonts into each of the platform projects. Instead, we can just go and basically jam it into an assembly attribute. So I reckon, oh yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, so I actually did a stream at Build that went through some of this stuff. That's actually worth having a look at. Like theming is really cool. It's a really nice new feature. But look, what we can do now is we can say, hey, instead of embedding all of the fonts into each of the platform projects and doing the info P list and yada, 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 all that sort of stuff. Instead, if you go and in your shared project, just have some fonts. It doesn't have to be under a resources fonts folder. And these will be marked as embedded resources. Okay. Then you add this attribute in, giving it the font name and giving it an alias. If you want, you don't have to give it an alias. That's just so you don't have to type Open Sans regular, right? And then you can just use that in your styles, right? So somewhere up here, probably in my styles. In fact, am I even... There we are. So I can then just use the font family. I can just use that alias in here, which is pretty cool. So it's a really nice new feature. It's a huge time saver. Yeah, particularly because it used to be really hard to work out what the font family versus the font name was, but it seems to deal with all that for you. At least it has for me so far, which is cool. All right. Capel, it doesn't work on UWP, is that true? It may well be true. Lewis, chicken wing made you hungry. Fair enough. Capel Twitch says, can you please give a quick rundown of the view states and the transitions I have? Don't eat me. Okay, so capital Twitch, this is what we're doing. So I'm not using view states in the sort of sense of the view states that are in Xamarin.Forms. What I have instead is I've got an animation state machine, right? And with this, I go ahead and I register different states and what transitions should happen to get into that state, right? So this is just a bit of code. All it basically does is it says, okay, if I got a transition which says do the scale, it runs a scale animation. Okay, so that's just all boilerplate. It's got nothing to do with this design per se. It's just what I'm using. And then in our main page, right, and this is the bit that I don't like too much, right? I basically say I've got these states, right, and I've got 5 states, I think, 6 states, 5 states: start, entrance, small, medium, large. And then all I do is I use my state engine here, and I say, let's register this transition to say, you know what, when I'm in a state of start, I want, like, for example, these things to be invisible. I want this to be visible. I want this pizza description to have a particular translation. I want this flying pizza to have a particular rotation, for example. So basically just describe where everything should be, right? And then for each of the different states, I give them where things should be. Okay, and all it's doing is throwing that in a dictionary. It's like a dictionary of animations, if you like. And then, in order to move between states, we just do like I did down here, which is just say, you know what, just go to that state. And what that does in here is it basically goes, pulls out all of those animations and works out where everything should be and runs those animations. Okay, and does a task when all. So that's, hopefully that helps capital Twitch. Yeah, cool. All right, so it's a neat solution. Look, the thing that I don't like about it is it gets a little bit verbose here. You know, for each of your states, mind you, you know, there's a fair amount of transition happening in here, probably more than most apps, right? You know, there's a lot of stuff flying around the screen, right? When this is running, so it's probably a bit of a problem. But what I would prefer, and I was talking to a friend about this the other day, is to be able to use something like a fluent description, right? Which would be something like this. You could say, for example, like animation dot or perhaps you'd go like back button, like animation, and then you could say for a particular state, and then you could say what value you want in there, something like that. But you could also do something like, you know, you could have extension methods. So you could say for all states, right, make the visibility false, right? And then you could say, you know, perhaps except you know, except when I'm in a small state, in which case make it true. You know, like you could kind of make it a little bit nicer, a bit more descriptive. Would it be possible to trigger state through Mvvm? Yeah. It would So I suppose with Mvvm, you got to be careful, right? Because, well, actually you could, right? You could, in your view model, you wouldn't trigger the animations per se. You would change the state, and then you could have a data trigger in your view based on an animation state, which then goes and runs that. So probably. I reckon you could capital twitch. The problem, so JKM, the reason I don't like this is, yeah, you can see where everything is in this state, but you can't see, like, for example, see, the other thing is you might want to do this, right? For example, in order for me to work out where a particular thing is, I've got to look through and see where everything is, right? So there's two animation transitions here. It'd be kind of nicer if I could say, like, you know, flying pizza, you know, with opacity of 90, with a rotation of 45. Well, opacity of 90 is not going to work. You know what I mean? And you could actually chain multiple together. You know, look, I think it's a lot better than having code that moves things around. It's certainly a good starting point. You know what I mean? The other problem with it like this is extension methods, maybe extension methods, yeah. The other problem with it is that in order to see where something's going to be, like the pizza title, I've got to look through all of its states. So that's where it is for entrance. That's where it is for small. You know what I mean? Anyway. I'm just trying to think of ways of making animation, describing animation to be a little bit easier. And eventually we'll get animation in things like, you know, our view states and things like that. But I've always found that a little bit too verbose inside of XAML. And for example, in this case, I need to calculate things for different states. It's not like I know about it. It's all based on the size of the device. So, you know, anyway. Whatevs. Now, what were we doing? All right, here's a question for you. Which way should we go here? We've got to add in. We've got to add in these here. Should we use Font Awesome or should we use images? You choose. I already know what people are going to choose. I knew you'd say that. Font Awesome it is. Font Awesome for the SVG. No. Fonts for sure. All right. I mean, we could do the SVG version, but yeah, but no. All right. So let's go Font Awesome something. Font Awesome. Font it up. Okay, I love it. Hey, Valcon. So if we had like a star, just do it. Because I'm cheap, I've only got the free edition. There we are. We've got a star there. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Not a great color. Okay, so that's Font Awesome regular. So let's go and I've got some Font Awesome things laying around here. So this is a cool thing, right? Or SVGs, there they are. They're already there. But we're not doing that. We're going to do the font just for giggles. So I'm assuming it was in Font Awesome Regular. Yep. So, I mean, this is where a trade-off comes, right, with using fonts, because realistically, with this design, like we'll use the fonts, right? I won't chicken out. But all I'm saying is, for a design like this, if that's the only thing you're using Font Awesome for, you probably wouldn't want to bring in a whole font, right? I'd probably use it. I'd probably use an image, but I'm cheeky that way. But we'll use a font. People want fonts, we'll give them fonts. So this is a cool thing, right? Grab a font, drag it into our thingamajiggy. Come here, go to properties, set it as an embedded resource, ka-chow, like so. Come to your attributes and say, export font. Isn't there a, well, there probably is actually. There probably is a NuGet package for ratings. I don't know. Is there? What have we got? It's called free regular. Visual Studio stop responding for 7 seconds. Might be time to upgrade. Has anyone upgraded Visual Studio in the last few days? I'm assuming there's some nice build bits. It's an OTF font. So this is an example of where you'd want to use an alias, right? God, you'd want to be able to type first, because it's really hard to write Font Awesome 5 free regular all the time. So instead, you say, let's give it an alias of, most people use far, right? Or Font Awesome regular. We'll say far alias. Something like that. Right, and so that should bring it in for us, which is cool. Now the other trick is you've got to Swack Attack. Welcome. How you doing, Swack Attack? Higher indeed. You've used Rating View from NuGet previously. Let's go and have a look at it. I don't know whether we should be doing ratings here anyway, but anyway, let's have a look. Rating View NuGet Xamarin.Forms. Let's see what it is. Rating View. Excel arcs. I never know how to say these things. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. All right. Here's a rating control. Custom rating images, custom rating scale, transparent background for composing. Hasn't been updated for 2 years. My friend. Look at this, Adam Patridge. I know Adam. Use it in a Uiviewcontroller. Yeah, I think this. Is this for iOS? Yeah, this is an iOS one. This one. But this is not the one you're talking about anyway, I don't think. It is iOS. My buddy Zamboy created a quick swipe control, by the way. Swipe rating. Selected position. Lovely, lovely. Yep, got all that. Beautiful. Custom render in Android. Whoa. Okay, that's probably just to do all of the allow custom views, images, etc. Yeah. Look, I think right at the moment, so what is this? This is a grid with selected position, and then I'm betting there's a bindable collection of items. No images yet. Item height. Item selected. Blah, blah, blah. Creates a horizontal. Creates rows for each of them. And then basically creates a box view. Probably not what we're after. There's another package called rating and swap. All right, let's have a look at this one. You know we're going to end up rating and swap NuGet. Rating and swap. And yeah, so what is this? No repo. Yeah, I'm not gonna suck this dependency in. Yeah, SyncFusion's got one as well. And I do love SyncFusion, but I'm not going to bring that in. Yeah, for one control. Look, and you know what? We're not building a real app here. We're just trying to get the layout right. So let's just get the font awesome in here. Now the trick with font awesome, and this drives me a little bit insane, is getting this this number in here. Right. I'm gonna load up a project I built during build. Because it's got some code in there I want to steal. Actually, that's not it. That's not what I'm after at all. Come on, Visual Studio. You're not the project I'm looking for. The project I am looking for is probably this one here. So this is one that I did. How did that app turn out where you were selling the colored bits of moss? It worked out all right. Not too bad. I might have it running on this phone actually. Maybe not. It worked out all right though. We can have a look at it a little bit later on if you want. Okay, so this is something I built during build, It's not that exciting, but it does actually highlight a couple of really cool things. Let's have a little bit of a, let's see if it'll load into here. Let's have look at a couple of the nice features whilst it builds. But what I wanted to steal out of here was the fact that I had some code in here just to deal with here, stuff like this. So getting those horrible strings that you have for Font Awesome. So while this is building, I'm going to come back to my other project here. I'm just going to jam that in here. And we'll call this Faz Star. And then we'll go and we'll find that code F005. There's got to be an easy way of doing this, right? Right, because that's impossible to type. So this is deploying at the moment. We'll wait until this runs. So this was, so we did, whilst build was going on, a bunch of us did live streams live stream for 48 hours and had a couple of sessions. This is one of the apps I built during that. It's not particularly exciting, but it does highlight a few things, right? So it has things like how to incorporate video in here. These are the Font Awesome things just there. It does things like there's a really nice swipe view that's now available around the place. Things like empty views. So if I said, let's search for bananas. Oh, no bananas. You know, so putting Lottie views inside of there. I think we also did, if I'm not mistaken, expanding sections. So these are using the new expandable control. And the other thing it does as well is, actually, it's probably not going to work on, probably not going to work on this because I don't know what version of Android this is. I don't think it supports dark mode. If it was running on my phone, I'd show you. Yeah, I don't think we've got dark mode on this. I'd have to run it on a newer device. But the coolest, I reckon the coolest thing that's in Xamarin.Forms 4.6 is the ability to do theming just by having these app theme colors in here. And basically saying, you know what? When I'm in dark mode on the system, make it this color. When I'm in light mode, it's this color. And then it all just magically works. It's amazing. Anyway, that's kind of beside the point. What other experimental features do we play with? Media element, swipe view, expander, app theme. Yeah, cool. Anyway, enough of that. Cool. So what we should have now is we've got this Faz Star. If we come back to our page, we'll run this puppy up. Oops. Pizza, come back. All right. Now, let's go and see whether we can stick some Faz stars underneath it. Actually, what we should do is we should add a style here, shouldn't we? We should say style, rating, label, target type. Get this out of the way. Target type equals label. Setter property font family. Value equals faz, which I think is the thing we gave it. Let's set its text color. And let's find out what its text color should be. Which would be probably body text color, I think. Something like that. Let's try throw a let's go and find our pizza title. Doop, 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 doop. Let's just do this for the moment. Okay, let's do a faz star. Let's say its style is static resource rating label. I have no idea where that's going to go. Oops. Ooh. Font size is, it's just looks like it's not very happy with that. Look at that. It's giving me a cross. How dare you? How dare you? I feel like that's the right number. Is the video stuck? I don't think so. Could just be Twitch. Hit the refresh. Or maybe I didn't move for a while. So what's going on here? Faz star. Font family. Oh, look. It's called far, not faz. That's the problem with the alias when you don't get your alias right. That work? Come on, you can do it. Booyah! Look at that star. Look at that star, that big old star. All right. Now this is going to be pretty cheeky. Hey, I'm going to close this file because something is happening here with my IntelliSense. When I hit enter, it's just going down the line. I'm going to just close this file down. Let's just see if that fixes it. Doom, 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 doom. Okay. So here's something that's pretty horrible. Let's do this. Stack late orientation, horizontal. Get rid of the font size out of here. This is criminal doing this, but it works. So theoretically, what I should have here, right? Did I just see? Oh, hey, James. How you doing? You know, I hate it when James rocks up and you're doing something like just munging in a rating label using a horizontal stack layout. Okay, wait. Let's check out this thing that got merged. What got merged, James? What got merged? Always be stack layouting. But did you see this? Look, James. Oh, actually, that's not working. No, it's not working. Okay, wait. Let's have a look at this. Exactly. We were using, isn't that true, Lewis? We were using fine, best quality code until James rocks up and then we just smash in a stack layout. Got to go into the files changed. What, the commits? No, the files changed. Yeah, get out of the way. Okay. Ooh, a converter. Column definition type converter. Go and split it by commas. Is there a sample here somewhere? A row converter as well. Look at this. This is amazing. Let me just sort of zoom this in here. So you're telling me, James, I can now say column definition 1, 2, auto star, row definitions, yada, 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 yada. The type converter is then going to go and take that and it's going to turn it into columns for me. Yep, there it is. I think 4.7. I don't know what 4.7. Oh, 4.7, that's where it's going in. Okay, cool. And so that's going to stop us doing, like, I mean, this is a, relatively speaking, this is a very gentle grid, but it's going to stop us having to do this all the time. Amazing. That is such a, that would be called a quality of life improvement. Is that right? Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, James, do you know another one that needs changing? Here, I don't know if you're still there, James. Yeah, that's awesome, James. Here's another thing that needs, I reckon we need to put in. You're always here. Is when we do corner radiuses, it would be really nice to be able to say, I don't know if this, I mean, it's possible, right? It'd be nice to be able to say as a percentage, like a 0.5 corner radius, for example. That would be nice. But of course, you'd have to calculate the height and the width and then work out the thing based on it. Yeah, but that would be another one. But that's But it would save you that problem where you have to like, you know what I do? If I need to draw something, here's some other hacky code. This is what I've noticed is, let's say you had like something like this and you wanted to draw like a corner, like, you know, like a rounded corner on this side, or you wanted it to be, you didn't know how big it was going to be, you know, it's going to be some amount of size and you wanted it to be a circle, right? You wanted rounded corners. I find if you just jam a really, really large number in, it'll basically just work out the maximum it can be for you. Anyway, but it'd be nice to be able to say 0.5. Anyway, hey James, thanks for the news. That's made my day because I was having a bit of a rubbish day actually. But now I'm happy. Xamarin.Forms 4.7. Yeah, or a circle view. But I think you're... Oh, actually, I saw something the other day. Where did I see that? I think it was on Twitter. Javier was playing around with something with like image slicing, clipping. The clipping tweet. Yeah, yeah. Who was it? Who was it? It's going to be up here somewhere. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. If you haven't seen this, see, this is why I love Xamarin.Forms, because there's so much cool stuff coming in, right? Even though the pictures scare me a little bit, there's this geometry stuff and saying, hey, go and clip this. Or maybe we need a percentage here. Maybe I should talk to Javier. Oh, you got me. Is that the same one I have? Yeah. And that's cool, right? Being able to do that. That's awesome. It does need to be a monkey, not a scary up the nose shot of some yelling man. Because it scares me. You should, James, you should make that a company or a submission standard. Anything with Xamarin.Forms needs to be a monkey. All right. So where we at? What were we doing? We were, just before James came in, we were just ramming in a fake ratings control. Let's continue to do that. And let's say it has a vertical options of start, a horizontal options of start. All right, let's see where that's positioned it for us. Yeah, not bad. Good guess, Kim, good guess. Almost. I think it wants to use the accent color. Yeah, the accent color. Yeah. Who needs fancy accent colors when you can use a stack layout and do a for loop? Wow. Oops. A is not going to work. All right, beautiful. Look at that. You wouldn't know unless you looked at the code. All right, what else have we got in here? So it says, okay, we need to move it down a little bit, and it says like 82 votes, yada, yada, yada. Beautiful. Now, because I don't have a view model behind this at the moment, that's why I'm not, that's the reason why I'm just hard coding it in. Otherwise, of course, it would be a bindable layout. Do, 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 do. What did it say? 82 votes. Lewis, imagine getting a review in the store. I like everything about this application except the rating control, which is made of stack layouts. Yeah. It's a fair call. It's a fair call. Do you know what I also need? I need to be able to preview. I need to be able to preview these things. See what that did to us. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. Put that down a little bit more. 82 votes. Yeah, works for me, works for me. Everything except that stack layout. Beautiful. Okay, so we want this stack layout. When we move between these states, we want it to zip up from the bottom, right? So we should give this a name, x:name equals. I want to just call this dodgy rating bar, but let's not do that because somebody will actually look at this code one day. Let's call it rating bar. Let's give it some states. In start, it doesn't have anything, so we're going to say it has an opacity of 0 here. Rating bar has an opacity of 0. We're then going to say in the entrance, oops, I just cleared my keyboard. In the entrance, it's going to be the same. There's nothing wrong with stack layouts. Well, there is if you were like sort of programmatically creating something which could be in a bindable layout, I would argue. But yeah, there's nothing wrong. Stack layouts are good. Stack layouts serve a purpose. It's like box views, right? It's the most seemingly innocent control, which is super useful. It depends. All right. So in order to get this thing to move, we should give it, well, this is what we should do. We should say, we'll give it a translation. Y. Yeah, but either works. Yeah, translation Y. And we'll say, we'll give this, say, 100. Actually, no, we'll give this a 0 here. Right, so what we basically want to do is we want to say, we want this thing to move up, right? When we move states. So it's going to be in a state where the translation Y is 0 for our 3 different pizza sizes. But it's going to, when it's in this state, we're going to say, give it a translation Y of say 90, which means it's going to be further down. And then when it appears, it's going to go up and it's going to fade in and it's going to be amazing. Amazing. Or it's not going to work at all. One or the other. All right. Add it to the cart. I think it did. I think if we watch really carefully here, it fades in. All right. We could play with the timings. Let's not bother about that. It is like Pac-Man eating pizza. Yeah. It's my Chomp Button. It's quite nice. Quite a nice effect. Actually, this one, I really like this as well. I think, I don't know whether this, so I never create NuGet packages. Maybe I should. Like this label here, right? When you give it a value and it rotates up. Yes, James. If I click negative, it should basically vomit out a pizza. You're totally right, James. You're totally right. All right. Added the star ratings. Yeah, we're kind of done there. We need a basil leaf on the side. Hey, Glenn Stevens, how you doing?
Today we're gonna code lots with Mr. Kim, Phil Potts, and oh how.
Get all your stream jingles from Glenn. That's my advice. Okay, we added the star rating. We want to say, what do we want to do? When decrementing, when decrementing quantity, vomit back a pizza. There, I can't describe it any better than that. Okay. All right, what else have we got? We got a basil leaf on the side. Click on pizza to navigate states. Oh, at the moment, when we click on a pizza, we can navigate between the states, which is kind of fun to play with. But now that we have a mostly functional back button, we don't need to. So let's remove that. That should be pretty easy to do. We just got to find our pizza and our clicky event. Pizza tapped. Pizza tapped. It's a pizza tapped. See you later. The regurgitate class. Nice, Glenn. See you later, code. All right. So that's going to fix that for us. So we're done with that. All right. Is it time to find a basil leaf? Might be time to find a basil leaf. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's do this. When decrementing quantity, implement the regurgitate pattern. There we are. We should, if we want to be super cool, we would say like the gang of four pattern, right? Gang of four regurgitate pattern. Nice. I'm going to put that on my CV. All right. Basil leaf. Basil leaf. Why not? We need a basil leaf. The basil leaf, what does it have to do? It has to just sit there and look pretty on the side. And slide in from the side. Okay, cool. Let's find a basil leaf. No, Google. You already know my location, but you know, give me a break. Basil leaf. What's that basil leaf look like? Yeah, it's just a nice little. This one looks good. I like this one. Does anyone else have this problem when you've got an image like that, which is a basil leaf? Not a robot. Not a robot. If you copy, I don't know why this is. I've often wondered this. If I go and copy this image and I go and paste it somewhere else, of course it doesn't do it now. Normally it has a white background for me. Anyway. It's always when you explain these things, it never works. All right. So let's go. Yeah, look, it's got a black background. Boom. See? But if I do this and I save this image, to the only place worth saving, which is the desktop. Nah, we won't put it there. We'll put it here. And then if I go and get that, it will have its transparency fine. I hate that. That's not what I want. What do I want to do? I want to import an image. Boom, 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 boom. Import. Basil leaf. And add it in there. And then it just wants to kind of sit over there. It seems like a mighty big basil leaf for what we're trying to do. Oh, it's got cropped corners. Oh, well, not if we do this. There we go. Let's do that. Let's get that basil leaf and poke it in the side there. There we go. How about that? No robot is machine. Exactly. Basil leaf. Okay, let's try. Let's export that selected item into iOS. Sure. And let's export it into our Android as well. And then let's bring it in. Come on, Basil Leaf, where are you? Did I do what I think I did? Yes, sir, I did. I exported the Android resources into my iOS folder. Awesome. Well done, Kim. Well done. Well done. better. All right. Let's bring those in. I'm going to be so happy when they when we can eventually put images in a shared project and it's going to resize them all, because this is the worst. Oh. Well, it's not the worst, but you know, I've seen better. All right, basil leaf. Come on, basil leaf. All right, here it comes. You got this, emulator. You got this. All right. Basil leaf, there you go. So we'll make it centered. We'll make it on the right, so the end. So it's sitting over there. All right. It's a fair amount of space around it. Let's do a translation X. Now, where's this thing actually want to appear? Because all I'm thinking is we'll do a translation from, say, "Hey, President, how you doing?" Welcome. Hope you've been doing well. Where's the pizza? Down further. What's the right way of doing this? Geez, this is a bit dodgy as well. Bashing your head against iOS maps. Oh dear. You can never win against iOS maps. Is there anything in particular that you're bashing your head against, or just the whole general idea of iOS maps? Yeah, that should do it. Wow, James Montemagno off for a run. Fantastic, well done. Have fun, James. And thanks for sharing that tip with us before. Yeah, have another pizza for dinner. Take care, mate. I'll see if I can get your regurgitate happen. Here we are. A little basil leaves. Pops his head in from the side. Hello. Fantastic. All right, another one bites the dust. I'm pretty sure there's a way you can change the user location. You want to change the user location icon? Is that right? Yeah. So listen to Glenn. Glenn knows his stuff, particularly on iOS. Well, I mean, he knows his stuff, but well, you can find out the radius of the map if that's what you're after. Like user location's a point, right? But back in our XAMU classes, Glenn, I'm pretty sure we used to have something, or maybe it's an inbuilt method to actually work out the size, right, of what's being displayed. I'm sure we could. Is that what you're after, President? You want to know the image is a little circle, yeah. And I wanted to get the radius to see if another circle that I draw intersects with the blue dot. Can you get it as a UI view? Yeah, I think you can get it the view. You can. I think that's just an annotation. Like I could be speaking wrong here. Glenn will correct me. But if you look in your list of annotations, it is an annotation. Yeah, it'd be a child of the view or an annotation. And yeah, find it and then get its view bounds and you're done, right? It's been ages since I've done anything with maps. Redden's been digging hard. Yeah. So those Xamarin University demos are priceless. Let me see if I can find you the link. Wait, I better check that this is the public repository. I think this is it, isn't it? And then you can come into like the iOS ones. 300s, iOS 230. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, 231 would have the code you're looking for, I reckon. Give that a shot. Dig around there a little bit. Yeah, no worries. Always even got a course video. Yeah, there was 230, 231. Ah, Glenn, remember those AMU days? iOS 230 as well, yeah. All right, cool. Hopefully that helps, President. All right. Now what else we got? We got to fix the size labels on the pizza. What's this about? I think the problem here is that it doesn't matter what size you are. You're always a small pizza. All right. Now the problem here really is that I don't have a view model behind here, and I'm not going to implement one right now. So what I'm going to do instead is something cheeky. Now that James Montemagno's gone, we can write rubbish code. But of course, Glenn's here. So what we could do is we could literally just come in here and we could say pizza thumb label. Is that our friend, pizza thumb label? Size label. We could probably just use this. Lord Wilmore, welcome. Thanks for joining. It's a great handle. I love it. MK user location conforms to the annotation view protocol. Yeah. Start traversing those hierarchies. Let's see if this works. I think this will work. Oh, my emulator crashed. Yeah, there is. I think the last exercise in 231, Glenn, didn't we replace the user with a monkey? I'm pretty sure we did that. Something like that. It's funny, sometimes I remember the Xamarin University code better than my own code. Here we go. Small, medium, large, bam. It's true. It's because I don't read my code nearly as much as how much I taught XAMU classes. Medium, large, beautiful. Small, medium, large. It's too far away from the pizza. That's what it is. How are we even controlling that? Label rect. Y pos minus. And memory leaks video. So label rect. Magic numbers, man, magic numbers. Does everyone always put magic numbers into variables? Is it only me or constants? Is it just me? Because I'm a rubbish coder. It's just me, isn't it? Okay, we fixed the size labels on the pizzas. There we are, much nicer. Small, medium, large, beautiful. Excellent. So, President not sure. Yeah, what are you saying? You're saying you do use constants or read-only properties for strings or numbers when they need to be used in multiple places. Yeah. That's because you're a good coder. Not like me. Too many margins. Anyway. I'll probably clean this up before I write an article on it. All right, let's see if we can do this. Should we do this? Should we try? Shall we try vomit out a pizza? So we've got the regurgitator pattern. So we got pretty much everything there, I think. All right, so we can go there, we can go back, we can come here, we can go there. We're good. Let's try this. Let's try when we negate, when we go negative. Let's open up that. Let's vomit it back up to there and see how we go. So this is our pizza fly method. So first thing we do, we work out where it needs to fly to. It's just a random variable just laying around in my code base. All right, I'm going to steal some of this code for the moment because I want to just get it working first. Okay. So if we've got a flying pizza currently visible, we return. Yep, cool. Now, first thing I want to do is we want to do the button chomp. So that would mean we basically work out the location, the bounds of the button. And what that's doing okay. So we open the button. We lay that out to our button chomp bounds, which is that minus that. Cool. We then work out where it needs to fly from. So we work out its size based on our button and our location and the chomp bounds. So we could say, let's get our flying pizza. Let's say our absolute layout. Set layout bounds of Dragon. How you doing? Subscribe for a whole year. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Awesome. I really, really appreciate it. How have you been, Dragon? Yeah, so how was Bill? Bill was great. I did some live coding sessions. So there was a parallel 48-hour stream where people were live coding. So I did 2 of those sessions. So I did 4 hours of that. I haven't seen much of the rest of Build, actually. I've still got to catch up with it myself. But it was pretty amazing, I think. I don't know. I think so. So I've got to go back and watch all those videos as well. So position this at the bottom, and then we need to work out where it needs to fly to. Yeah, congratulations on the year. Absolutely. Still working on that pizza app. I am still working on that pizza app. Look, it's it's pretty close. Look, hello, Ibrahim. Thanks for following. So look, it's pretty close, Dragon. Look, I've got it here. Add to cart. We've got our sizing. We've fixed some things. We've got that, chomping our pizza. We've got our star ratings up here, which is done with a stack layout, so forgive me. We've got our basil leaf over the side. This is what I've been working on today. Look, and what I'm doing now is something which is totally unnecessary, which is James Montemagno dropped past, and he said, when we decrement it, it should make the pizza come back out. So that's pretty much the last thing, except for this bit here where you can say, Where you could say, hey, you come around and pick up 6 pizzas from me and I'll charge you $83. So negative values, don't want that. Yeah, that's exactly right, Lewis. He's come past, he's dropped a requirement and then run out the door. Congratulations on your 8-month anniversary. 8-year anniversary. So here's a random question from President Not Sure. Another random question. Is there a way in Xamarin.Forms to have a button partly overlay the nav bar, the top bar? I don't think so. You're talking about the title bar, right? Like the one that sort of, sits in this space over here. Yeah, it won't go all the way up because your page starts after the navigation bar. I think the only way you can do it is to have a custom drawn one. Yeah, build your own nav bar to do it. Exactly right, Dragon. There might be some really clever platform way of doing it. I don't know what that is. Let's face it, every designer these days seems to be like getting rid of the standard bars anyway. All right, so we're going to go, so we want to work out where it's going to go. Well, it's going to go to the same bounds as the flying pizza, the normal pizza, right? That's where it's going to go to. So we'll work out where it needs to fly from, which is from there, work out where it needs to fly to. So this is going to be basically where the pizza is. So we could say, equals something like, what am I doing? Equals pizza dot bounds. Is that a rect? That's a rect, isn't it? Anyone? Yeah. And so then we could say we want it to lay out to our destination rect, and we could rotate it to the pizza rotation, so that it ends up at the same rotation. And then we close our chompy button and we're good. Maybe that'll work. What we're going to do first, though, is we really would want to work out where it needs to be before it's visible. Because maybe not. Let's have a look. Let's see what happens if we call our regurgitate pizza. Want to decrease? Regurgitate. Oops. Okay, can't await a void. Yeah, fair enough. Let's make it a task. I'm pretty sure what this one is. Yeah. I don't know if this will work. We'll find out. And then I'm going to be done. So I'm trying to think about what to do. next after we finish this one. Like I got to write some up and I got to update my YouTube videos. I don't know where Ryan is, but I do have a sound sample for him. Maybe if we play it, he'll turn up.
It's R2, so you can't argue with him.
Shamelessly plugs community Xamarin app as next project. Well, oh, yes. Okay. So now all we can do is we can regurgitate. We can vomit pizzas. That's good. But when we add them, we're just doing little wheelie spins down the bottom. Okay. So clearly we're not setting the layout bounds. There we are. We're not setting the layout bounds when we are doing this. So the same way as we basically come in here and say position pizza at the bottom, in this one, we've forgotten that we should be setting its layout bounds for our flying pizza to the pizza bounds. That should fix it for us. So I was wondering about writing some games in Xamarin.Forms. Some puzzle games. Or like the game of life or something like that. I do have the weekly Xamarin app to write as well. Dragon says never got around to it though. Pizza, yum, nom nom nom. Regurgitate. I think our regurgitation has to work better. I think it has to roll. The toggle app is written in Xamarin. Oh. Does this work? Wait on. Let's see if it works when we're here. Okay, that's good. Okay, so it needs to exist, it needs to spin, and then it needs to go. All right. We need to make that nice, right? So we need the pizza to be in the right spot before we open the button. This is how you waste heaps of time, by the way. That's all right. You're just hanging out. Work out all our bounds, set it, make it visible, open the button. That might look better, I reckon. Yeah, I saw something about a Nintendo app being built with Xamarin. I thought James mentioned that ages ago, wasn't it? I think that needs to spin the opposite way. We need to do some rotation. Hang on. But Xamarin.Forms is just for simple apps. And someone savagely linked James's old tweet. Tween's cool. Tweening. Tweening's important. Hang on. Did we start it? Hang on. Let's have a look here. What are we doing? What are you doing, Kim? I'm making it visible. I'm rotating it. There we go. Oh, I think it. Now it goes in. Comes back out. Yeah, tween is a word. Oh, yeah. Wait on. Tween. Tween also means the steps. Like if you're an animation tween is like if I said to go from here to here over 100, tweening is all the steps in between. But tween is also an in-between. I'm not good at words. Yeah. So now we vomit them back out. What do you think? So you come to this channel and you learn bad coding practices and slang terms. Yeah, this is. If I didn't want to keep my stream politically correct, I'd have some jokes here, but I'm not going to because I'm not that kind of person. So here we are. We're chomping through lots of pizzas. Fantastic. All right. It's a family show, exactly. Well, no, it's an inclusive show. I want everyone to feel welcome. And everyone should feel welcome, always. What do you think, peeps? Are we done? Can we call it a day? I'm just clicking on things now. Technically speaking, wait on, let's have a look at our list. Gutty Fast, welcome, thank you. Well, we didn't do that. Hang on, we need to put in a check for negative. We did that. Because we're not really using a view model, let's just put in a little bit of protection code here, which is, let's get rid of that warning. I thought you were going to put it on the left side of the button instead of the left when you... Oh, instead of the right. We could, but it wouldn't really be regurgitating it then. It would be like passing a pizza right? In one end out the other, but we're not going to do that. Anyway, it's a family show. Family show. All right. Well, cool. It's about lunchtime. For me, I'm going to go and make myself a pizza. Lachlan's here. Hey, Lachlan. 4 months. Very nice. About bedtime for you, Dragon. Lachlan, if you just joined us, we've implemented the regurgitate pattern. So now we can vomit out pizzas when we go negative. Actually, you know what? We should do this. If we say, if it's less than 1, let's just not do anything, because that's not really vomiting, is it? It's funny, we were just talking about keeping it family friendly. Unsubscribe. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. If current quantity equals 1, let's just return out of here. Is that going to work for us? I think it's going to work. It's work better. There we go. I think we're done. Oh no. You just broke your work phone screen. That sounds terrible. And I just broke this. Oh, that sucks, Dragon. If current quantity equals 1. What is current quantity? That is rubbish. Current quantity is 1. Oh. Wow. Yeah, good luck, Dragon. Well, maybe timestamp this part in the channel, in the stream, and you can use it as evidence. Maybe. Clip it. We'll all vouch for you. All right. Cool. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. I think I've done enough. Let's put it that way. Yep, totally. All right. So I think I'm gonna sign off and have some lunch, have some pizza. I just want to see if there's anyone to see if there's anyone that we should raid. I know for see you next week. No worries, Capital Twitch. Let me know what you want to do next week. Ah, Clancy's on. Clancy's on. Should we go and raid Clancy? Okay, let's do that. Let's go and raid Clancy. He's probably going to be doing some Maui stuff, is he? A C# source generator. All right, wait on. I should come back here and say thanks everyone for joining. No worries. Thanks for Sam. Let's go and raid Clancy. Say hi to Clancy for me because he is super awesome, and I think he has a new camera actually. So we should totally raid him. Hey Nazaro. All right, let's see if I can do a raid successfully. All right, well, take care, everyone. Thanks so much. Stay safe, Dragon. Hope your phone conversation goes well. Yeah. Anyway, let's jump over. Say hi to Clancy for me, and see you next week. Bye for now.